Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Heights, coming to you live from Memorial Coliseum on the campus of the University of Kentucky as the 10th-ranked Wildcats host the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Dick Gabriel joined by former Kentucky coach Leah Little. Wildcats coach have a pretty good season going on right now, about the midway point, and this could be something special.
I tell you what, this could be a really great night for the Wildcats. They have been doing great. They've been consistent all year. They just need to get another high score like they posted a few weeks ago and keep on moving up. Katie Minnesota in her 6th year at Eastern Michigan. As you can see, a great night against West Virginia. 8 gymnasts with career highs against Ball State. Coming off a tough loss in conference to Central Michigan, but a chance to put that behind them tonight. Tim Garrison's Kentucky team, as we said, he's got it going really in terms of the entire program. 10th in the NCAA last year, top 13 at least in each of the past 5 years, and a big night in an upset of Alabama. And Coach, everything about his program has been consistency. That's right, and Coach Garrison said about a week ago that he wanted to be a contender, and they're in that spot right now to be a contender. Wildcats with that 49-plus number throughout, and that'll get you there if you just can be as consistent as the Wildcats have been. Well, to be in the top 10, actually, they need to be in that 49.5 range, and they have been, and that's what has helped them this year get to the point where they are right now. In fact, for the last 5 years, they've been in the top 10, so Kentucky in rarefied air, but the Wildcats have proven they can handle it. They will start with the vault. Eastern Michigan will begin with the bars, and of course, we'll keep an eye on Raina Worley tonight. She is the terrific leader of this match, of this squad. Wildcats preparing for the vault, and you see Ashlyn LeClaire will lead things off. Raina Worley will anchor the event. Got to get that energy out early, don't you, Coach? That's right. Kentucky has 4 10-0 start values on vault. The other 2 are 9.95s. So if they hit and stick, they're going to do really well in this first event here at home. There you see Ashlyn, the senior from Port Crane, New York, ready to go. Good crowd here at the Coliseum for Friday Night Heights. Ashlyn will be doing the Yurchenko full. Start value 9.95. Very nice. She liked it. Nice vault, hop on the landing. That'll cost her a 10th. You know, when you get to this point, we're looking for tenths and half a tenths to correct as coaches. All of these teams in the top 10, and it's the little bitty arrows that make the difference. There you see how Eastern Michigan will compete with Kyrie Lowe leading things off on the bars. By the way, LeClaire last week against Missouri in a road win had a new all-time high, so we'll see if she matches that tonight as we await the score. But you see Kyrie coming all the way up from Lake Worth, Florida to compete in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Just waiting for the scores here, and for Eastern Michigan to start out on the bars. They're all pumped and ready with their green Mardi Gras hat on. Kyrie appeared in this will be her 6th straight meet, part of bars and beam, and a 9.8 for the 2nd time this season on bars last week. Made her first appearance on the floor at the West Virginia quad a couple of weeks ago and earned a 9.5, so getting some experience. All right, let's look for the handstand position. Pretty nice. Maybe a small reduction. Release, move above the bar. Look for the handstand. Oh, back salto. Okay, she's sitting up for the dismount now. Double front. But the fall will cost her a half a point. The fall will cost her, and that mount is very difficult because it has a blind landing. That's why it's valued at what it is. And she was almost there, just didn't ride it up high enough on that one. Ashlyn LeClaire had a 9.8 on her vault, just a half point below her career high. And you see points of emphasis in the vault. Jillian Prokashki now, the Austin, Texas native. Jillian will also attempt to perform the Yurchenko full. Start value 9.95 as well. Let's look for that pop off the horse and the landing. The the vault table. I still have that stuck in my head. Old coach, old horse, right?
Take another look, Coach.
Let's look at her rise off the horse, legs very nicely together. Just a little bit of a problem on the landing.
Didn't quite stick it.
Nope, not quite, but she had great body position in the air, and that is one of the things that judges look for. I don't know if we get a good camera angle of it on vaulting during the rotation, but there are now lines on the floor of the vault because there is a deduction for direction of the vault. So if they land to one side or the other, the judges are now able to see that they are off center from the angle where they sit.
Molly Paris from Hudson, Ohio, next up for Eastern Michigan. And there you see what you look for on the uneven bars, especially that dismount.
Right. Well, they have requirements on uneven bars that they must have. They must have a bar change from the high to the low. They have to have 2 release elements. They must make their connections. Obviously, there's little deductions for legs apart. We know the handstand has to be within 10 degrees of vertical. And you know, the judges are a little lenient sometime during regular season on all of these deductions. But as we get closer to postseason and in postseason, you're going to see the scores tighten up.
At the West Virginia Quad, Molly scored a 9.7. That was her 2023 high. So did well on the vault.
9.825 for Jillian on the vault.
So minus the problem at the end, pretty good effort.
Correct.
Now we're ready. Kyrie Lowe, I believe, a 91.5. We said she had trouble.
All right, I think we're going to get ready for this next bar routine. Again, what we're looking for is nice straight handstands, height above the bar on the release moves, legs squeezed tightly together on any twisting or turning. The handstand, just a tiny bit short. Shoot. Nice. All right, now she's going to sit up for her dismount. Again, a little short on the handstand. Double layout dismount.
Looked like a clean landing.
Right, if you watch for the double layout, one thing the gymnasts must do is maintain body position throughout the rotation of the dismount. Some girls will pike it down, some athletes will actually lose form or position in the air. A true double layout is laid out on both rotations of the flip. So that's what you want to look for. But it happens fast.
Mackenzie Wilson on the vault. Take another look at that. She got right into it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it on the replay. This is Kentucky's first 10-0 start, the front pike half. Let's watch to see if she lifts off the vault table with the half.
There you see the lines you were talking about on the
Right.
floor. And by the way, Kyrie Lowe actually with a 9.075 for Eastern Michigan, but it looked like Molly Paris picked up her teammate well. And there's a good look at Hannah Hartung from Lincoln, Nebraska, averaging a 9.7 on bars so far this year. Eagles trying to build a little bit of momentum here on the uneven parallel bars.
Okay, we want to get a little momentum going here with Eastern Michigan. Judges are being a little more critical, I think, this evening. Taking a little longer.
Definitely taking their time. That's right. Now we're underway with Hannah.
Nice release. Again, not quite above the bar that I'd like to see.
Her teammates like what they're seeing.
Right, she's keeping it going. Setting herself up for the dismount. You can see her swing and crease for the double layout. Again, you saw a little bit of what I was talking about there, a little bit of pike down at the landing. But other than that, she had a nice routine.
Ariana Patterson up next for the Wildcats. There's a good look at Ariana on the vault. Plano, Texas, suburb of Dallas.
Now, Ari, if she does her typical vault, she does the 10-0 start on the front pike with a half. She has tremendous lift off the vault table. You can see what we're talking about amplitude that the judges are looking for. But when she leaves the vault table, she is gone.
So explosive.
That's right. Let's see if she can make that landing. It's Ariana. Up, pike, half, boom. All right, beautiful ball. Just that little hop back.
Yep,
and again, we posted those deductions from the small hop to more than 3 feet. She's going to get the major deduction, I think, on the landing.
Other than that, what did you think?
Very nice, as always.
Sneaking a peek back, looking for the score. It's not up there yet. Mackenzie Wilson with a 9.875, so Kentucky is working its way up with a 9.8, 9.825, now a 9.875. Ella Shamati, she's an outstanding gymnast. Just a sophomore, homegrown, Canton, Michigan. Such a bright future. Led the conference on beam last year with an NQS of 9.875 as a freshman. Personal best on the beam of 9.95, so we'll see what she does here on the bars.
On the back salto there. See if we can see the dismount. Rise. Okay, another double layout.
So haven't posted the other scores yet from her teammates on bars. Patterson scored a 9.85. So as you said, a little deduction at the end there. Otherwise, she might have been up at 9.9.
That's right. She's definitely very, very capable of making that score if she can just stick that landing.
Now, Isabella Magnelli for the Wildcats coming up. And here's the NCAA Gymnastics meet format.
6 gymnasts per team compete in each event. The 5 best scores count. The lowest score is dropped. And the average of the rest of each event determines the score. Here's Bella for the Cats. Another pike half. Again, that little step, but you can see the difference between the 3 10-0 vaults that they did. Every one of them had a landing problem, but they were all 3 different problems. This is a small little step. It won't hurt her about a 1/10. So if the Cats get those landings on vaults, they'll be dangerous.
Still no other scores posted for Eastern Michigan on bars for some reason.
Okay,
I don't know if they're having trouble with
got
computers
one up
or what.
now, but don't know who that is. Judges just flashed a 9.5 for bars. We don't know who it is yet.
Yep. They're behind by 2 athletes.
Right. Sometimes they get bogged down a little bit. All right.
Trinity Macy.
All right. A little short on the handstand. Nice blind chains. Pike release.
Macy, the junior from Rowlett, Texas.
The one thing I really like about her routine, she keeps it moving bar to bar. We're not what I call camping out. Another double layout dismount. Good job.
Take a look at the dismount.
Kind of hard to see from this angle, the body position. She had legs apart a little bit there on the double lay, the second double lay. But otherwise a good routine.
And there's Raina Worley. Won the all-around last week in the win at Missouri, the senior, winning the all-around for the 16th time in her career, 4th time this season. At a 9.95 on the vault, tied her career best.
You know, Dick, we talked about consistency, and that's the one thing Raina has. You can count on her in all 4 events, and it sure helps your team when you can do that. This is the Yurchenko 4.5. It's a blind landing, a 10-0 start value, and she executed that very well. Let's look at it again, see if we can. Her block off the table, up in the air, little bend in the legs, and a little bobble there on the landing. But the other thing to realize that Raina's really tiny, about 4'10", so when she gets up off the table there, it may not look huge, but she's small. So she did really well.
Isabella with a 9.875. And again, our apologies, but they have not yet posted the additional scores on the bars for Eastern Michigan. This is Raisa Boris, junior from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Another talented Eastern Michigan Eagle.
All right, here we go with the next routine. Beautiful release, nice body position. Nice handstand, setting up her dismount. Very nice.
Her teammates ecstatic for her.
There you go. Perfect handstand there, perfect vertical position, legs squeezed together.
Boris with a new
Very
high
nice
and
dismount.
all around against Ball State. Just keeps getting better and better. That was in a home opener. So we're still waiting on Raina Worley's score as both teams have finished up with their respective. Okay, Raina posted 9.875, so the little problem at the end cost her, kept her from getting up over that 9.9 mark. And we'll try to chase down some scores for the Eagles on the parallel bar, uneven parallel bars.
So just like we opened and talked about the little things, if you added that just 1/10 landing deduction on every vault there, Kentucky would be a 49.8 on vault, which would be huge. Very nice vaulting from the Cats. And we apologize about the bar scores. We just don't have them.
Not a whole lot we can do. Eastern Michigan got off to a rough start. One of the judges now has walked over to talk to the folks keeping score here down the way from us. Eastern Michigan looking for its first win of the season. This meet with Kentucky is the last of a 5-meet road stretch. These two have faced each other just once. That was back in 2017. The season opener, Kentucky won that one, 195-192 in Ypsilanti. Back at Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Dick Gabriel, Leah Little, Kentucky and Eastern Michigan now. And the two teams simply swap on the various apparatus as Kentucky will go uneven parallel bars and Eastern Michigan coach will go vault. And what are we looking for on the vault? How do you stay clean?
Well, we talked about it in the first segment there that we're looking for height off the vault table, body position, keeping the legs squeezed together, and of course, a good landing.
And we saw a lot of that, and we saw some struggles as well from the Wildcats on the vault. Now, how does Kentucky try to stay perfect on the bars?
Well, perfect is hard, but they're getting up in that range of getting some really high scores. Again, kind of the same thing. We're looking for perfect handstands within 10 degrees. We're looking for squeezed legs on all positions, turns, amplitude on the release move above the bars. And you can kind of look that their hips are above the bar when they do the release. Same thing on the dismount, to be above the bar, and of course that almighty wonderful stick.
And we saw one fall earlier that cost one of the Eagles the point. Coming up next, Ella Shamati in Eastern Michigan head to the vault. Shayla Looksick and Kentucky to the bars. You're watching the SEC Network. Back in Lexington, we finally have some information for you. There you see at the bottom of your screen is Eastern Michigan with a 4.835 right now. Raisa Boris really came through for the Eagles coach with a 9.85 on the bars. Hannah Hartung posted a 9.7. Molly Parrish with a 9.75. So it took a little while for us to get the scores, but we're caught up now. Here's Ella Shamati for the vault.
Okay, that's the Yurchenko full. She had good distance away from the table. I would have liked to have seen the vault rise a little more into the air. Amplitude, we call that. But that's a good start vault for Eastern Michigan. She should get a nice score for that.
Haley Davis will lead things off on the bars for the Wildcats. Did not compete in the vault. She's a junior from New Bern, North Carolina. They had just told us what to look for in terms of the mistakes you want to avoid.
Yeah, let's look for things they do right. Nice handstand there from Haley. Nice release move above the bar. Good handstand there as well. Double layout. Now, if you notice on Haley's dismount, she pretty much held that layout position all the way through on the dismount. That's what we were talking about and looking for. So, didn't get to see it again, but nice double layout.
We'll catch up with it.
All right, so here we go again with Eastern Michigan on the vault. This is Sophia.
Sophia Rios.
Another Yurchenko full. Now,
Trouble
this
with
is
the
one of
landing.
those situations as a judge, was that supposed to be a tuck or was that supposed to be a layout? So she's probably will not get benefit of the doubt on that. Her legs were bent, so she will not get the full if that is what she was attempting. Good distance away from the table. The vault did not rise like I would like it to.
Ella Shamati with a 9.7 on the vault. And now Bailey Bunn for the Wildcats.
Bailey's done some really nice bars for the Cats this year. She had a injury in the middle of the season last year, and she's been working her way back into the all-around lineup. And she's done a really nice job for the Cats on bars this year.
She has posted some good scores from time to time. And a 9.9 career high on bars.
Miss Yeager. Just a little bit short on that handstand. It won't hurt her too bad. Sitting up for the dismount. Another double layout.
Yeah, but
A little bit piked on that. Let's see if we can catch it on the video. Okay. Here's the Yeager. See just a little bit of pike there.
Little wobble.
In the dismount.
yeah. But still a strong effort for Bailey Bunn. Now Emma Lewis on the vault, sophomore from Grand Rapids, averaging just a little better than a 9.5 on the vault this year.
Okay, another Yurchenko full. This is Eastern Michigan's vault, but they're getting good distance away from the table. Not as much block and amplitude as I'd like off the table. And again, the jump on the landing.
So now Annie Reichert for Kentucky. A career high 9.825 on bars. see if she can top that tonight. There you see her season average. Got some work to do to get back to that career high. Sophomore from Mason, Ohio.
And we're behind on scores on bars again, so just be patient with us.
It's going to be an adventure tonight, I think.
Well, that was huge. You can come back and see that on the replay. You'll see what I'm talking about being above the bar on your release move. And he's got a good routine going so far.
She's sticking here.
Another double layout. All right, let's take a look at that release move. And watch where she is above the bar. That is just huge. That is outstanding.
I would think that helps set you up for the rest of your routine. You can get up that high.
Oh, he's way above the bar.
Yep.
So that is the meaning of amplitude, fans.
Well, we're learning as we go. A 9.7 for Emma Lewis, so all three Eagles have tallied a 9.7. Here's Molly Paris.
Let's watch Molly here. Yurchenko full. Now there's a stick.
Yep.
Okay. Now, a little education here. She did stick. She landed with her chest down. Now, whether they will take that or not, if they do, it won't be serious. But a very nice vault for the Eagles. Fly like an eagle, right?
There you go. They certainly are right now with the vault. Caitlin de Guzman next up for the Wildcats on bars.
We still have no scores. So.
Nope. Caitlin's career high at 9.925.
Caitlin's had a great year on bars for the Cats as well, and really been able to count on her this year. Caitlin's another one that has some huge air in her release, so we'll kind of pay attention for that. Beautiful handstand. Above the bar, beautiful.
Dallas, Texas native trying to finish strong.
The double layout. Now that one was a lot closer to what we want to see. She did pike it down a little bit, but she maintained body position throughout most of the dismount. So let's look at this huge, again, look at that. Look at the distance away from the bar. Now watch her double lay. She maintains body position all the way through. It's a tiny pike at the end, but I don't think they'll take too much, if at all. But that's a true double layout.
Raisa Boris trying to keep the momentum going for Eastern Michigan. Molly Paris with a 9.775.
All right, let's take a look at this again. We talk about body position. Her arms are bent onto the table. Kind of wasn't able to push off because of that, and then that caused her to be a little messy on the backside of that full. So if she could clean that up, she could have a really nice vault. The potential is definitely there. But technically the judges can take a tenth or so on every segment of that vault. So just trying to help you fans understand when it looks like a perfect landing or dismount or B routine and you don't understand the score. Sometimes it's those little hidden things.
2 consecutive meets where she bested her previous record, so she may have done it again.
Here we have Shaylin on the uneven bars.
Shaylin looks
gorgeous. Another huge release move for Kentucky.
Senior from Pittsburgh.
Beautiful handstand. Yeah, another nice double layer, maintaining that body position, and that was a stick. She had huge air on that Tkachev. And we're looking at this dismount again. She needs to rise, maintain the layout, stick. Boom. There you go, folks.
The way it's done.
That was a great routine for Kentucky. It's going to help them.
Well, we'd like to share scores with you, but nothing yet. Now, Alana Fisher.
that was a stick.
Raisa Boris with a 9.675. So
Push off the table, the twist, and the landing. Get a little bit short, chest down.
they needed a good
shouldn't hurt her
score
too
there.
bad.
They needed one there from Fisher. Boris was a little shy of what she wanted to be.
We believe Shaylin got a 9.95 from this judge, but again, we apologize. We're not getting scores in
We
our
can't
system.
see all the judges, and they haven't passed them along yet. So now Raina Worley.
Now, again, we talked about, Raina is a tiny little thing, and her release move on bars are huge as well. Raina's been, as we mentioned, very consistent this year, and really last year as well, and that's what's keeping her up there with the other top kids in the country. That was beautiful. Did you see the actual flight in that move? That's the way it's supposed to be done.
Raina had a 9.925 against Alabama.
Raina's dismount, pull out, stuck. She's
sold
happy with that.
She
As are
sold
the rest
that
of the
landing,
cats.
didn't
That's
she?
right. That's a very difficult dismount. It's a double back with, well, here's the release. Very nice. Well, her dismount is a double back with a full out on the backside. And that was a stick if I ever saw one.
Crowd went crazy. A lot of folks holding up the 10 signs. Good crowd here at the Coliseum. There's an exhibition coming up.
I wish we could have caught that release over the bar. She was perfectly how that should have been done. That could be a 10.
And again, set herself up perfectly for a strong finish. On the vault, Fisher finished with a 9.775. So pretty consistent 9.7s along the way. We saw some of the scores go up from the individual judges, and the judge right in front of the Kentucky crowd is catching an earful from the Wildcat faithful.
They were expecting a 10 on that bar routine, and what judges couldn't do it.
They haven't shared it with us yet.
Yes, we have a 9.9 from one judge. I'm assuming probably 9.95 from the other.
Well, it was something to see, no question about that.
And Raina, seeing her, as each meet goes along, her confidence is just, you can tell by her face, her body language. She's not rattled. She just gets up there and does it week in and week out, and that's what makes her a great athlete.
There you see Claire, the freshman. It's an exhibition. This will not count in the scores, but experience for her in front of a great crowd.
You have to prepare for the number 7. The 7th man always needs to be ready to go anytime called upon. Very nice dismounts. Very nice routine. It's nice to know you got one of those in your back pocket.
Yep. Well, they have set, no pun intended, they've set the bar high here at Kentucky. So you said you've got to be ready to compete.
That's right. Kentucky's done well on bars this season, and I think if they keep it going, they're going to do well in postseason for sure. Some of the best bar routines in the country are in the SEC.
So as we await the scores on the bars for Kentucky, we will tell you coming up the mindset and earworms propel Raina Worley to new heights. Watching the SEC Network.
Personally, for me, I can't turn everything off all the time, so I like to listen to everything that's going on. Like if it's a conversation going on outside of the event, I kind of listen to the music, sing along. So kind of keeping myself distracted from what's actually happening helps me not get too caught up in the moment or get too ahead of myself, which is fun.
That music to try to relax. And Coach, there's so much music involved really, even between events, it's got to help athletes relax.
Absolutely. And, you know, the kids, when they're out there, they love listening to the music and dancing around. But in Raina's case, she just tries to turn out the noise and stay in her head and think about what she needs to do and relax.
They know each other's music as well, so they can be a part of everybody else's event. It's a lot of fun, quite frankly. We talked about consistency earlier, Leah, and there you can see Kentucky's been remarkable.
They have, and as we mentioned earlier, they're getting at times in that 49.5 range on all 4 events. That's where they really need to be to move up in the rankings and move up in the seeding. They're doing that. Hopefully this night at home will help them achieve that this weekend. And, you know, speaking of Raina, she is an excellent student. She is just a great student, and 21 of these Kentucky athletes, 21, Dick, are on the academic honor roll here at Kentucky.
No kidding.
That's pretty amazing.
So how do you get to nationals? Well, you've got to post the right scores and make sure you've got a good NQS.
Right, the NQS is about 2 more weeks before we actually will have those. That's the national qualifying score. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how to achieve that when we get back.
When we come back, Raina Worley and the Cats head to the beam. Ray Saboris and the Eagles, they'll compete on the floor. You're watching the SEC Network. Back at Memorial Coliseum, Dick Gabriel, Leah Little. We finally have some scores posted on bars, and Shailen Luksick and Raina Worley with back-to-back 9.90s, just as Caitlin de Guzman posted a 9.9. So Kentucky with the slight lead. Now heading for the beam as Eastern Michigan heads for the floor. Take a look at the Wildcats coming up on the beam in their lineup. Luksick will lead things off, followed by Prakaski. Bailey Bunn will compete in the beam, as will Ariana Patterson. Raina Worley, of course, and Isabella McNally back in action for the Wildcats. Ella Shamati will lead things off on the floor for Eastern Michigan, as the Eagles look to get off to a good start on that event. And you see the senior Luksick will get things started for Kentucky. So now they've expended all the energy, Coach, and they'll try to stay on that small piece of wood.
Yes, 4 inches wide,
Yep.
4 feet off the ground.
Yep.
But Kentucky has been a great beam team this year. They're ranked 8th in the nation right now on the beam. And again, that consistency factor is what's really the difference this year.
Remember one year you tried to get us media people on the beam. It was only about 2 inches off the floor, but man, was that tough.
A little different when you're up there, isn't it?
Yep. I'll take your word for it. We were only a couple inches off the ground.
All right, this is one of the requirements. Shaylin, her flight series, very nicely done. They must have an acro flight series. They must have a dance series. They must have a leap with a 180-degree split and a full turn. Then that only gets them to the 9.4 place. In order to get a 10.0, they must have bonus. So sometimes the fans see a great routine that was stuck and they don't understand why the score was low. Sometimes they miss a bonus element, which actually reduces their start value, and therefore they can't get a high score. So
Wildcats last week with a 49.4 as a squad.
they did great.
Win over Missouri.
There's the gainer dismount. Right. Very nice routine to start off for Kentucky. Let's take a look at Shaylin. This is the flight series, the back handspring layout, not 1 ounce of a movement, and this is the gainer pike dismount. Okay, little tiny step there. She won't get much of a hit for that.
Career high in 9.95. And there you see Ella Shamati, freshman of the year last year in the MAC.
All right, she has that year of experience. Let's see what Ella can do. Everybody loves floor. Let's see if she can call in the audience on this one. She's got the face. She's
She's
got
the MAC
the face
all
going.
tournament team last year. She's already selling it, isn't she?
She is. You know, the athletes get to pick their music with the help of their coach, and he really wanted to show their personalities. She opened with the double pike there. She's working it. She's definitely got the facials going. You know, choreography is huge. You definitely want the dance to be something that the girls are comfortable with and that they like to do. It also needs to be unique, unusual, and draw the crowd in, as well as the judges, of course. There's one of those bonus combinations we were talking about. She did 3 different dance skills directly connected, which will give her some bonus. You know, more and more, Dick, the collegiate crowd is becoming, for lack of a better term, a little wild. Auburn, and they've definitely got their students into it, and it's really great to see that finally happening after all these years. Last pass.
You see her teammates are into it with her.
Yeah, the athletes really like to do each other's routines. All right, let's take a look again. This is Ella's first pass double pike. Just down on the landing, but nice other than that. Full front layout. All right, we'll see what Ella's leadoff score is for the Eagles.
Well, she'll anchor the beam competition. She got a bid to the Norman Regional Championships on beam last year. Great experience for Ella Shamati.
We have Jillian up now.
Jillian Prokaski. 9825 on the vault.
So let's look for those things in her routine that we talked about. This is her actual flight series that's required. The handspring layout step out. Nicely done. This is a very nice dance series coming up here with a bonus element. Cat leap to a switch ring jump. Very nice. Another requirement. Aerial to a dance move. It's a connection. Jillian has very nice lines. You can tell she has a dance background.
And the all freshman team last year in the Southeastern Conference.
Yes, she was. So dismount, gainer pike off the end, perfectly done. And that's the way to do it.
See if she can top her best score of last year's 9-7.
We're going to look at this pike gainer off the end again. She had good heights off the end of the beam and stuck. I think she's happy with that, as are her teammates.
Yep.
The Cats have just rock beam this year, and they just keep doing it. They seem very comfortable up there.
Michaela Stuckey now for Eastern Michigan.
Her dance is coinciding with the music, which is what we like to see. Okay, that was a full ring. Very hard to execute. Okay, that's a bonus dance series right there. Very nicely done with good amplitude. Got some percussion going here. I like it.
It always seems to draw the crowd in.
Round off full, front layout. All right, getting it now, getting the crowd into it. All right, at this point, is where your crowd should go wild for this last pass. Kayla is going to finish with a double pike. Oh, little step out of bounds.
Might have a hard time matching the 9.7 she put up in the West Virginia quad.
Very nicely done. I enjoyed those percussive beats in her music and her dancing right along them.
Now Bailey Bunn. Take another look at points of emphasis for you.
This is Bailey Bunn, and we'll look for those dance acro skills, the bonus connections, and of course balance on the balance beam. So from a little wobble or movement in the chest or body to the giant waving your arms like a windmill, the deductions can go from 0.05 all the way up to 0.3.
Junior majoring in kinesiology.
So the ladies get to pick their beam music, and she likes this on fire. I think she is.
A 9.9 on the beam against Missouri.
Okay, that was a 3-element acro series, which is more difficult, obviously, because it has 3 flight elements, but she nailed that.
Also a 9.85 early this year against Alabama.
Nice switch to combination. Bailey is definitely a performer. You can see it in her face. She likes to get out there in the crowd and get them involved in what she's doing. Dismount for Bailey. Number 4.
She liked it. Let's take another look.
Like I say, she's done great coming off this knee injury from last year. They've just been working her way back gently to keep her safe. And so here's that double twisting dismount. A little extra padding for safety. Good job, Bailey, for the Cats.
Kyrie Lowe now for Eastern Michigan. Ella Shamati with a 9.6. And there you see Kyrie would love to raise that score a little bit.
Got a good crowd here tonight for Daddy-Daughter Night. So see the dads giving their kids flowers.
I think we were here last year for Daddy-Daughter Night. That was great. Yeah, I believe we were.
I'm waiting for media beam night. That's
yeah, we need to bring that back. And you see Kentucky has extended its lead. Bailey Bunn with a 9.925 as Kyrie Lowe's underway.
I love this music. I used it once when I was coaching. It's great. You know, the music from that era really did make you want to move. I don't know how you can sit in a chair. Double pike, very nice. Need the zoot suit back, Dick.
You had me wearing one of those one night on
sure
Excite Night, as I recall.
Yes, sir.
Pretty comfortable.
Oh,
oops.
Goodness. Well, glad she wasn't injured on that. A little short on the rotation on the flip. She's keeping it going. Got to keep that happy face. Finish strong. There's her leap series combination for bonus. Right, get behind her to finish strong. .5 Front layout. Well, that'll get you going.
You're right about the music. You have to wonder, is the blocky on the neck, is that a temporary tat or did they really come in?
The what on the neck?
There's an E on the back of her neck.
Oh, I do not know. There's the front full layout. Most of them are paste-on tattoos, I would expect.
I would think. Michaela Stuckey with a 9.5, so we'll see how Kyrie ends up doing, and you get a good look at Ariana Patterson.
Now, for our young gymnasts out there, I'd really like you to watch Ari because she is a perfect example of just dance. Her toe point is impeccable, beautiful hands, her leaps are huge. And she just has the most gorgeous body lines up there, so.
All-conference performer last year.
It's her flight series. Oh, that does not usually happen. I hope I didn't jinx her.
Yeah. She very likely won't top the 9.95 she had at Georgia. And a 9.85 last week at Missouri.
Front aerial. Just struggling a little bit tonight. It's not typical for Ariana. I think this is the leap combo I was talking about, where she was tremendous. Dropped that shoulder on that second leap. That's what pulled her off.
I mentioned this is really unusual for Patterson.
Yeah, just that first fall, I think, surprised her and messed with her head a little bit. But Ariana usually does a great beam for Kentucky. And
in her 5th year of the program.
another gainer pike this month, but still smiling.
Meanwhile, we find out that Kyrie Lowe, who struggled with the floor, scores a 9.475. So as you can see, Kentucky extending its lead again in the 3rd rotation.
All right, up next on beam for Kentucky, we have Raina.
But first, Anna Grace McCullough from Birmingham, SEC country. A junior will perform on the floor.
All right, a little trouble with her landing there. That'll cost her a few tenths, but she's strutting her stuff now.
Career high last year of a 9.85 against Northern Illinois.
Switch ring. I think the fans typically look for the tumbling passes, how high they are, how difficult they are.
Absolutely.
But there's some dance combinations that are worth just as much or more as some of the tumbling passes, and you just have to educate yourself on what they are. Front layout.
Look clean to me. Did it look clean to you? That's the important part.
All right, we'll take a look at this pass. Front layout. 1.5. Little pikes. More than I'd like to see anyway. Yeah, I see the E you're talking about. That's a decal.
I say if that's real, that's a commitment. A painful commitment.
You don't have mom on your arm?
Not on my arm.
All right, Raina is up next on beam for us.
Now Raina Worley. And as you can see, among the nation's best when it comes to the beam.
I really, in watching Raina over a few years, don't think I've ever seen her rattled. Even if she makes a mistake, she just gets it done. Second leg was a little low, not quite up to split, which should be on that, and that's what caused that bobble, but it won't be a big mistake. That's unique, so she'll get creativity, originality points for that.
3 All-America hunters last year for Raina.
Now, because she did the front aerial to the back handspring layout combination, that is bonus, 3-element flight. She's singing, doing her own little concert up there. That was a tiny little bobble we talked about, but she corrected that immediately, so might not be too noticeable for the average fan.
995 twice this year. Can she do it again?
Nice dismount for Raina. All right, this is the front aerial immediately into the back handspring back layout. You notice from the front aerial, she did not stop. She went immediately into the back handspring back layout, and that's what you want to see. No stopping.
You mentioned she's only 4'11". Does that help you at all on the beam? Because you're a little more compact.
The place it really helps you is in tumbling because your center of gravity is lower to the ground. The tall girls, you know, have more trouble in rotation than the smaller girl. But yeah, it helps you all the way around, I think, just for that reason.
So Hayden Crossan now with a chance to perform.
Front layout, front full. That seems to be the Eastern Michigan pass, but she did that very nicely. There's her bonus leap connection, switch side.
Hayden was second in the all-around in the MAC tournament last year.
Okay, looking for her second pass now. Double tuck. Keeping it going. Switch side, straddle. Now one thing the big fans should know, but you know, those switch leaps and jumps, your legs have to be to a 180 split. If not, then you're deducted.
Hayden with a 9.8 at the West Virginia quad, her season high so far this year.
Very nicely done, front layout, front full. Double back. Nice landing. And then she gets the Mardi Gras. It's almost Mardi Gras time, so perfect.
She wins the award. You see Isabella Magnelli having a great year on the beam. Tied with her teammate for 11th nationally.
You know, Bella's another one for you young gymnasts to watch her form and her style. I think she is a beautiful gymnast. The lines that she has, another triple flight. Kentucky's got a few of those this year. But again, her extension, her toe point, her posture, beautiful leaps.
Career highs in 9.975 and a 9.925 twice this year against Alabama and LSU.
She's another one that's really come on for Kentucky. I've seen her confidence grow. I've seen her performances improve. She's really going to be a factor, that dynamic duo with Worley and Bella.
9.85 last week against Missouri.
All right. All right, let's take a look again. This is the flight, triple flight. Slight balance error there, but it's minuscule. And the dismount of Pike Gainer, stuck.
Actually a 9.95 against Mizzou. So you go with the 9.975 against Alabama. Now you know why she's one of the best in the country.
And like I said, Kentucky has improved so much on the beam and their consistency, and this has really helped them this year.
Teresa Boris looking to have some fun here.
Floor is fun, and it should be. And the crowd should get in it, whether you're a visiting team or a home team. A good performance is a good performance, and great gymnastics fans appreciate it. Nice double pike opening there for her.
She had 3 9/8s last week against Central Michigan.
Their arch rival, I think. All right. See what she brings here. 4.5 from Leah.
Finished third in the meet last week. The 9.85 on floor was a big part of that.
It's a leap series, switch sides. You can see her kind of breathing a little bit. This is the third pass. A bit hard here at the end after been dancing, but double tuck. Nice finish. Great job there for Reza. Sorry. Great job, Reza. Nice routine.
One of the top performers in the conference through 5 weeks.
Okay, we're going to look at this pass again. 4.5 front layout. Double tuck. I'd like to see that tuck a little tighter, but it was a nice dismount.
Hayden Crossan with a 9.7 for Eastern Michigan. Isabella Magnelli finished with a 9.875 on beam for the Wildcats. Annie Reigert, her first appearance on the balance beam. As you can see, this is an exhibition. Got to be a few nerves at play right here, Coach.
Well, you know, the exhibition routine is, like I said, we talked about the 7th man. Number 7 needs to be ready. And as a coach, you want to know who is that. You know, when you're called upon, are you ready? And also gives coaches a chance to look at different athletes, see what they do under pressure in competition. And it's good experience for the other kids to get in front of a crowd. So.
I was going to say, doing it in practice is one thing,
That's
isn't
right.
it? This is a great crowd here tonight at Memorial Coliseum. As you can
Very
tell.
nice leap acro series.
Got a bit of a flood there at the end, but good experience. And we'll move on.
Dancing to the beat there.
Trinity Macy now for Eastern Michigan, another exhibition. Wildcats have extended their lead again.
All right, music's building to the tumbling pass. All right, very nice, unique tumbling pass. Front tumbling you don't see very often. Another 4.5. side. Straddle jump. This is the time in her routine where she can really work it, and you can see her personality. Also gives you a little breather.
You really got to be at top speed in just a couple of steps, don't you?
Absolutely.
Kind of an obvious thing to say, but not easy. Well, nicely done for Trinity Macy. Not the first person named Macy to perform on the UK campus. So we'll take a break. Coming up, Leah and I will get you caught up on this week's storylines and weekly honors. You're watching Friday Night Heights. Back in Memorial Coliseum, Dick Gabriel, Leah Little, Kentucky, with the lead that has been growing on Eastern Michigan. You saw, Coach, a lot of 49s for the Wildcats, 48s for Eastern Michigan, but you talked earlier about 49s, that magic number Kentucky has got to wrestle with each night.
Absolutely. You know, when I was coaching, it was the elusive 49, and now it's 49-5 really to get up there in the Elite 10 in the country and to move on up the ladder.
That's the goal for that man, Tim Garrison, and his Wildcats, as we take a look at what's going on around the Southeastern Conference. Perfect 10s all over the league. 6 times last week, 11 in the NCAA. Alabama tied its program record on floor after losing to Kentucky earlier this year. That's the highest on floor in the NCAA this season. And the superstar Suni Lee, if you will, and Wong with double 10-0s. Both scored 10s on uneven bars and the balance beam. And the weekly honors this week, well, Suni Lee, she's been dominating 4 of the 5 this week. The SEC Gymnast of the Week. And she'll be here soon as Auburn visits Kentucky on March 3rd. So make plans now to come to that one if you're here in Central Kentucky. SEC Specialist of the Week, K.J. Johnson from Dallas, Texas, matched her career high score on the floor with a 9.95. And then the SEC Freshman of the Week, Kayla DiCello from Boyd's, Maryland, led all SEC freshmen last week with an all-around score of 39.475 in a win over Arkansas. Part of a Gator sweep in the all-around. So much talent in this league.
Oh my gosh, Dick, it's just amazing to see the level of talent in the country, all across the country now. The parity among the teams, the 10s, the Olympians are in the collegiate program. It's just fantastic. And if you haven't seen a collegiate gymnastics meet, you need to get the gang and come on out because it's quite the show. All the excitement of NASCAR.
Yeah. But much beauty, I will say. We'll take a break. Back with more in just a minute. Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network. Back at Memorial Coliseum, Dick Gabriel, Leah Little, as you can see, Kentucky jumped out to the early lead and has built on that lead ever since. Bailey Bunn with her season high on the balance beam, helping to give the Wildcats that lead after the 3rd rotation. Now Kentucky can play to the crowd a little bit more tonight, Leah.
Absolutely. I think they know they are doing well right here at this home meet in front of the home crowd, and the crowd's excited, throwing the 10 cards up, and
time for the floor, too.
Finish strong on floor.
Eastern Michigan will try to make up ground on the beam. Eagles have had some strong performances tonight, just not enough and too many mistakes.
Correct.
Cassie Bergen will step in for Kyrie Lowe on the beam, and she will lead things off for Eastern Michigan.
And this is always a tough spot for the visiting team. You know, when the home team is on the floor, they got the crowd in their pocket. And if you can do beam in that situation, you're a pretty good beam competitor. So keep your focus.
Cassie's a sophomore from Islip Terrace, New York.
I know where that is. It's her flight series. Against spring layout. her combination dance series. Slight bobble on that. To a front toss. Keeping her smile. Very nice job.
A good effort to lead things off for Eastern Michigan on the beam for Cassie Bergen. Now Jillian Prakaski for the Wildcats. Remember the all-freshman team last year? Jillian with a 9.85 on beam. She's looking at a good night in terms of the all-around.
She is having a good night, and this is a good event for her. Beautiful leap series there. The ring jump, the head was all the way back at the foot, which is where it's supposed to be. She has some very unique dynamic music. Good layout, full.
Career high is a 9.85 on the floor.
I just love her dance lines and all of her moves. She's really right working this music just as it should be. Switch ring, whip full. Double tuck, perfectly done. Now at this point in the routine, just thinking in your head, bring it home, finish strong. And if your leadoff person can have an outstanding routine, then it's just going to build for the rest of the team. So Jill's having a great routine. Okay, I think she's going to be happy with that. Let's take a look again. This is the front layout, front full pass, nicely done. Again, look at her body lines on that, just with the landing and the stretch and the posture. Beautiful. And this is the double tuck dismount. Perfectly done. We'll see if the judges think it's perfect.
Yeah. And now Trinity Macy.
One thing, Dick, that's new to the sport this year is coaches have always been able to file an inquiry on the routine if they feel something was missed or not judged properly. And so starting this year, they can show video to the judges with the inquiry. So I talked to one of the judges this week about that, and she said it's been received kind of with mixed feelings. However, as a judge, they like it because they said, we're human, we're not always right.
Yeah.
And so when you have video evidence, and sometimes they miss things. Nothing intentional, it just happens.
Would you have liked to have had that when you were coaching?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You were just born too soon.
And you know, it's different angles and how you see things and where you're sitting. You know, if you sit one place, it can look perfectly done, and you move another place and you see leg separation. So it just depends.
Looked like a good finish for Trinity Macy.
Let's look at Trinity's dismount here again. This is a round off, full and a half.
Trinity competed in the bars and then earlier had that exhibition on the floor.
Well, we only have 3 all-arounders in this meet. Raina Worley, Boris and Commodi for Eastern Michigan, and they're battling it out right now.
Trying to take that title away from Raina Worley is going to be a tough challenge.
I think so.
She has made this Coliseum her personal plaything this year.
Is that Wolf Wolf?
Mackenzie Wilson.
Mac, as they call her. Double tuck, very nice tumbling series.
Sophomore from Clinton, Tennessee.
You know, we're trying to get those balls to start gymnastics down there. They wouldn't lose these athletes. Or maybe they would. We're just that good.
Career high of 9.875.
We've had a couple of new programs started this year in collegiate gymnastics. Fisk University being one of them, the first HBCU program in the country.
Wow, no kidding.
Yes, coached by one of Georgia's former national champions.
Mackenzie with that great score against Alabama. Scored big in the upset.
She did. She came in strong for them on that meet. So let's take a look again at that last pass for Mackenzie. 4.5 front layout. Nice routine for her.
So now Michaela Stuckey looking to beat her beam average of 9.66. Trinity Macy's finished strongly, 9.775 for Trinity.
Great. Needed that.
Second best score posted tonight by one of the Eagles.
You know, we talk about the elusive full turn. It's not a high-level skill, but it's required, and so many gymnasts fall on that skill. I think it's just the mindset of it's the killer phantom.
Don't think about it when you mean you're thinking about it.
Right. Or you don't think and you fall. You know, Eastern Michigan's coach was quite the gymnast herself in her day. She was on the national team and maybe the Olympic team. Look that up. Or Olympic, I think she was a 7th alternate on their Olympic team.
So we'll take another look.
Okay, there's the required flight series. Back handspring layout. Just a little wobbly almost on everything. So she can just learn to tighten that up. Good extension. She'll be look really well on the balance beam.
You were correct about Katie Benasola. Part of the 93 Junior Olympic Championships. 8th at the trials, so that made her an alternate for the 96 team. Ariana Patterson would love to make up for a disappointing performance on the beam.
I think she will. Oh, that is a beautiful series there. That's the way it should be done. Legs totally squeezed together. She has some unique dance. And you know, the judges like to see something different. You gotta sell it. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Now watch these leaps. Absolutely gorgeous. That's a switch ring like it should be done. Look at the leaps again. Look at the amplitude. Unbelievable.
Ariana had a 9.875 against Alabama. It's her season high.
Well, again, a lot of these ladies, they're up there with just a 10th or 2 to find to get to perfection, and you just have to work every single day to eliminate the little tiny things. And huge double tuck, just a little problem on the landing, but another great routine for Ariana.
Wildcats have extended their overall lead. Take another look at this elevation.
Look at that. That might be the highest, most beautiful switch ring I've ever seen. Just amazing. There's a double tuck, just a little bit low. Didn't get her chest up.
Mentioned Ariana in her 5th year from Plano, Texas. Hayden Crossan back in action.
You know, that transfer portal in this sport has helped the sport just like it has in others.
No doubt.
People like Ariana who have experience in competition can come back and help you where you need them. That was a very nice flight series. I hate that she bobbled on that.
Hayden with a 9.7 on the floor. I don't know if she'll get there now on beam.
No, that was a pretty severe balance error that they're going to hit her for.
Isabella Magnelli up next for the Wildcats as Hayden Crossan finishes up. And she finishes well. Yep. Rocky start.
She did, and you know, that's what you have to do up there. You have to, if you make a mistake, you just have to get back up there and go. And you know, this kind of shows you how small the surface of the beam is, 4 inches. So put a 2x4 in your living room and just see if you can walk on it, much less do flips and jumps and turns.
Yeah.
By the way, parents, that's a good way to start your little ones. Just get a 2x4 and put it in your basement.
So there you get a good look at Isabella Magnelli. Her best score this year, a 9.9 in the upset of Alabama. Also had a 9.9 against Georgia. So saving her best scores for the top competition.
4.5 back layout, nicely done. Again, Isabella's very expressive in her dance. I like the change of rhythm in her music as well. Again, there you see beautiful, beautiful leap combination. Full split, directly connected, and plenty of amplitude. That's the way it should be done.
Another New Yorker from Suffern, New York, a junior.
Double pike dismount. Little problem on that landing again. There you go, beautiful straddle jump. Very nice routine for Isabella.
Take one more look as she finishes up here.
Let's look at this last pass, see what happened there. Just a little too much over rotation. She's a great performer for the Cats.
Raisa Boris has been busy tonight.
She had a nice floor routine, and typically if you do well on floor, you'll do well on beam. So
9.825 and a 9.85 in bars.
Wow, very nice. 3-element flight series. She stuck that. You know, we talked about the 4 inches, but honestly, to really be an outstanding beam performer, you almost have to do it just like you do on the floor. You don't want people to think you're on a balance beam 4 feet off the ground. So if you can perform your routine and look that confident, you're going to score well, no doubt. Dismount.
A junior from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I don't know if she matched her career high of 9.9, but
well, she hit that routine. Nicely done.
Yep.
Comes the 3-element flight again, back handspring layout. And then Again, the dismount. A round off with the twist. Haley's been really moving up in this event for Kentucky. Just coming on strong here this season, and she's been doing very well lately.
9.85 on this event last week in the win over Missouri on the road.
Her routine is a total rock music, a tribute to her dad. Double pike, a little over rotation there with some steps. Again, beautiful leap series, legs to full 180 split.
Haley also with a 9.85 at Georgia. Talk about pressure.
Okay, another nice tumbling pass. You know, I believe Jenny Hansen did the first rock floor routine in the country, and the judges were a little taken back, I think, but now we see a lot of that, so it's kind of interesting to see Haley out here doing a all rock.
When you're as talented as Jenny Hansen, you can pretty much do whatever you need to do, right?
Well, that's why we got away with it. All right, Haley, here she goes. See how exciting she can make this last pass. Double tuck, stuck, and the big finish.
Crowd loved it.
Great job.
So did her teammates.
All
Haley
right.
Davis.
Full front layout. It's nicely done. Let's look at this pass. Back handspring double tuck. Nicely done.
So one more competitor on the beam for Eastern Michigan, Ella Shamati. And then Raina Worley will wrap things up on the floor for the Wildcats. Raisa Boris posted a 9.8 on the beam.
Layout. Oh, so sad.
Ella has struggled a bit tonight for being one of the more accomplished athletes for Eastern Michigan.
Well, it's just too bad. I was expecting that triple flight series from the front aerial, which I think she was trying to do, and missed that first element, and then that just cost her on the series. So I hate to see that. I want these kids to do well, regardless of what team they're on.
You see her teammates trying to keep her going. That'll do it for Eastern Michigan in terms of the scheduled performers tonight. I don't know if we have an exhibition.
I think maybe they do, Dick.
I think maybe we do,
we're
yeah.
See.
And Kentucky will have an exhibition on the floor after Raina Worley is finished. Raina Alborez, a senior from Wisconsin, will perform as well. There's Raina getting everybody into it.
I think they're getting their 10 cards ready.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get another one in the country tonight
Well,
from
she
one of
has
these two teams.
2 9.95s this season.
But we'll see where that half tenth is, Dick.
Yep. And a 9.925.
Maybe this is it, her night. Rada opens with a full in. Boom. Perfect. Beautiful switch ring leap to switch side.
far, so
perfect
good.
execution.
Yeah.
Can't take anything on that for sure. Now we're rocking it. You know, Raina's mentioned she's worked real hard to clean up those little half-tenth and one-tenth errors in her routines. And when you get to this level, that's really what you have to do. They're minute deductions. See if she can finish strong here. Double tuck. Great routine for Miss Worley and the Cats. Nice way to wrap it up.
Brought a lot of the fans to their feet. Take another look at it. Raina, the senior from Christiansburg, Virginia.
Right, that's the full in, just perfectly done. That's a full twisting double back in case our fans don't know what a full in is. This is the full front layout. And you know, she finishes that front layout on her toes, so you know she has total control.
So Eastern Michigan is finished up on the beam, and now, as we said, the exhibition by Raina Alboraz. She has been on the All-America Scholar Athlete each of her first 3 years, Coach.
Well, as we mentioned, 21 of these Kentucky gymnasts are on the honor roll, academic honor roll. Some of them are All-Americans, All-SEC academic. That's a great accomplishment as well as their athletic abilities.
Again, this is an exhibition, but she does have a career high of 9.9 on the floor.
Raina's totally capable. It was nice, a little directional thing there, but nothing huge. Very nice leap combination there again with good amplitude and 180 split.
That 9.9 came her sophomore year at the Salt Lake City Regional.
Watch for this pass. Double pike. Stuck that one.
Gotta like the elevation.
Absolutely. Again, very nice leaps at full straddle. Great job for number 7. Another one to have in your back pocket.
Exactly, and you can see why she's capable of throwing a 9.9
Right.
in an NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. Yeah, see, her direction was just a little off there on the combination. But it was a really nice routine for Raina. What's the chance of having 2 Rainas?
Different spelling, but pronounced the same.
Right.
Raina Worley, by the way, a 9.9, so another 9.9 for Raina Worley. We'll come back with final scoring in just a minute here on the SEC Network. Back in Lexington Memorial Coliseum, Kentucky Wildcats pull away to a convincing win over Eastern Michigan as we await final word on individual scoring, but it was all Kentucky for the entire evening. Wildcats got another balanced effort, but of course Raina Worley had another outstanding night, and very likely, Coach, will be the all-around again.
I would think so. You know, Kentucky pulled out the win, which is great. I'm not sure that's the score they wanted. Doesn't really help them right now. But, you know, every meet you get under your belt with experience. But I saw them make mistakes tonight that they haven't been making. But I think they will be fine. Again, we said it's the little tiny things at this point. You've got such a small range that separates 1 through 10 in the country that one little mistake could make a huge difference.
Not a lot of personal best tonight, but things they can go back and work on.
Right.
Mentioned earlier, Raina's been named the top all-around 16 times throughout her career, 4 times this year. And there were some strong performances from her teammates, no doubt.
Definitely.
Kaylin Luxick at a 9.9 on bars. Take a look at Raina Worley. She is one special athlete. There you see a couple of 9.9s for her tonight. A little bit off on the vault and beam. Her top score overall is 39.7, so she won't get that tonight, Coach, but still, as you can see now, top all-around athlete, 17th time in her career. Nice to have an athlete like that in your hip pocket if you're Tim Garrison.
Well, like we said, she knows how to compete, and that's so important in this sport. You know, there's so many little distractions that can happen, or as they say, get you the twisties, or your brain's not focused, or too many outside influences. But Raina, you touched on being a great athlete. She is a great all-around person, student, athlete, and that's the kind of athlete you want on your team.
Next up for the Wildcats, 1 week from tonight, the Arkansas Razorbacks come to town, followed by a trip to Gainesville. You'll see both of them on the SEC Network. Auburn comes to town on March 3rd. We'll have that one for you right here on SEC Plus. Suni Lee and her teammates. That should be a great night and a great crowd. The Wildcats then visit Illinois before they head for Duluth, Georgia, and the SEC Championship. So Kentucky's already beaten Alabama and has competed well against Georgia. We'll see what happens down in Gainesville, but first you got to take on Arkansas.
That's right. Arkansas is a great team, just right below Kentucky in the rankings, and that will be a tough meet for them as well. And it doesn't get easier. The SEC is tough. The teams in the country, they're all getting better this time of year, so you just got to be on your best game every week.
So once again, the final score, Kentucky 197.125. Eastern Michigan 193.575. Great night for gymnastics here at Memorial Coliseum. Thanks to our hardworking crew. For Leah Little, I'm Dick Gabriel saying that's it. Good night from Lexington on the SEC Network.